Alright, God, my hair looks terrible. I'm doing all these vlogs. It's backwards. This is really fucking with me. I'm doing all these vlogs at home, and so I feel like I look really unkempt, but I also just want to make sure that I'm doing them. And I've decided I'm going to try and do these daily, even if they don't all get posted. So that's what this is. So deal with it. I'm just human. I kind of smell it right now. Yeah, just sniff my armpit there. Let's see. Okay, what can I talk about? One of the things I want to do is take things like this magazine. It's got 100 creative people in business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of them and pick out a few that I think are really cool, and I'm going to do a little research on them and then just talk about it. I'm going to show the article, read what it says a little bit, and then talk about what I think about it. I think it'll just be interesting to highlight some of these people, because some of them are like really great women doing great things, and it's like, whoa, we don't hear enough about that. Or just people doing fascinating projects and stuff. There's so much in the world right now. So maybe this will help reverberate it. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll just find out. That's something I'm going to do. What else? Oh, I think I just want to keep track of everything. I want to get my thoughts out, because I feel like everything's in my head, and that's not a good place to be, because there's so much in there. It's all bouncing around, and it's hard to focus. So maybe if I just articulate it, just say it, even if it's not in the best, most coherent way of getting it out, at least it's out, and then I can review it and think about it when I need it, versus just having to keep it in my mental RAM, so to speak. I don't want it to be there. I want it to be out so I can just be present. That's what I'm trying to work on every day, is being present, doing what I'm doing instead of thinking about the other things I need to do, because that doesn't matter at the point in time that I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So let's focus. Focus, focus, focus. The site's almost done. That's really cool. I'm getting really excited, and every time I think about it, it's like, all right, what all do I want to do? Okay, what do I need to do that? Well, I've actually got most of that, and the site's almost done, which is like the crux. So once I have that, I'm the only thing stopping me at that point. So let's do this. Let's go. I'm so excited. It's almost here. I'm bouncing on an exercise ball, because that is what I sit on in the chair. Try and work on my posture. Trying to not be so slouchy, because I don't like that. I want to sit straight. I want to not be slouchy. I want to appear as best as I can to present this website, because I don't care what I look like, but I feel like other people do, and I don't want to turn off people that are worried about aesthetics, or like that are turned off by that, because I know some people just are. They love design, they love whatever, and there's so many well-designed things that why would you look at things that are not well-designed? So I'm going to try and put an effort to at least certain videos make them more aesthetically pleasing. But that's why I have Andrea, though. She's helping me because she's great at that, and I cannot wait until I can just pay her so that she doesn't have to worry about rent, and she can just do creative things and help videos and her projects and like just do everything. I'm gonna make her like my executive producing, I don't know, media management person. Like, she's just gonna handle all, making sure everything's aesthetic and well done. And maybe when I get other people on board, they'll do vlogs, and like everyone will have vlogs, and we'll have this huge resource of everything. And then when we're doing projects, she can like film some of them and then cut together with the vlogs and make kind of like a reality show, except not the way it is. Like, it'll just actually be reality of what we're doing. That way there's full transparency. It'll be really cool. I'm excited about that idea. What else? I don't know. I'm just going to throw as many different things as I can and see what sticks, what gets good reception, and put more energy into that and less into others, and then figure out what is both something I want to do, something that gives value to the world, something that's aesthetically pretty, something that's meaningful, has good purpose. I want to create art, but I'm not the best artist, so I want to find other people who are great artists that can take the systems that I'm coming up with, because I feel like functionally they're really great. They're just maybe not design-wise very pretty. I just need help. We need to work together. Take things that I know. I have this like knowledge base, but it's hard to process through all of it, so I can take chunks of it and like give the raw data to someone, and then they can make something beautiful with it that'll appeal to other people and gives value to them beyond the functionality. And then if it happens to be functionally pretty, that's great. That's a great thing. So I want to try and create surplus in everything I do and give value to life, and not just be one thing, but be everything. But nothing's everything, it's just something. I don't know. That sounds really convoluted, but I do think it's kind of true in the sense that the best way to give things to people is to do something that means something to you or you, and then give value to others. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but maybe it does. I don't know. It makes sense to me in my head. I just don't know if I'm articulating it correctly. But you'll see. I promise. I promise, promise, promise. What happened was, earlier when I was making all these videos, they didn't... I felt like, while it was interesting to some people, and I'm really thankful that so many people found it worth watching and subscribing to. That was insane, like an insane experience, but wonderful, and I love you all. I really do. Thank you. But the reason I stopped making videos is because, number one, I got a little overwhelmed, and number two, not with the videos, but just with my life. And then number two, I knew that it's kind of like Twitter. I think I might have said this in my Twitter video, but if not, here it is. I feel a little bit like if I'm going to be creating something and putting it out to the world, I want it to have some value. I want it to be useful. I want it to be productive and also fun and something that makes me feel good. I can't just do the things that kind of make me feel good. Like, yeah, I could make an entire video about how I'm doing something awesome. Great. What's that do for other people? Well, there's actually studies that show that watching on Facebook feeds of people doing great things actually makes you a little more depressed. You're like, well, I want to do great things because it's giving you an example of something that you're not doing. It's like if you go to a third world I'm not even going to say third world. I think that's really stupid the way we label countries. So if you go to somewhere where there's not a lot of wealth and people are just poor, like they're in a village or whatever, or if you go back before there were jobs and all this like flux of money or energy or just whatever, then people actually could have a very fulfilling life doing something that today would seem kind of small or insignificant by today's standards, but it doesn't matter. Like, you are your own experience. You create your own reality. So if we go out and explore the entire world of all the things you could be doing, well, there's a lot of them that you just physically can't do right now. Therefore, it's something amazing that you want to do and you can't. Therefore, you feel a loss. I don't like that idea. But I do think we can do whatever we want. We just have to set our intent and stop thinking that we have to make money to survive. I'm over that. Like, let's just food, water, shelter without debt. Then you can do whatever you want. Work for what you want, not for what you need. Yes, you have to work some, but like, you could put a few hours, once you get a system established, you could just put in a few hours a week of work, maintaining like your food supply or whatever, and then Bob's your uncle, you're off. Spend all your time doing what you want, thinking, learning, reflecting, spending time with friends and family, and building relationships, doing cool things. Can you imagine if we didn't have to work 5 days a week? Like, all day, every day, to the point where when you come home you just want to relax, and then on the weekend you're like, I gotta go out and party, do things with friends. What if that wasn't our life? What if we set up our own kind of life? And a lot of people have, and that's what I'm going to try and do. But I want to help spread that so other people are able to do it, because I've got privilege, and I don't feel like that's fair. Like, okay, for example, in the acting world, in the modeling world where I'm at, like, I've worked with Coke, I've been on billboards, I've worked with Delta, I've been on magazines, and that's great, but it doesn't mean anything. I'm not special. I'm certainly not putting a lot of effort into it, so it's really not fair. And you could say, oh, well, it's, but you have a certain look. Like, yeah, but that's artificial. I wore braces for 4 years. I had to wear a patch over my right eye because my left eye was going to be a lazy eye because of the prescription's so different that my brain was just not really using my left eye, and it's still kind of blurry when I look through it. So I would have had a lazy eye, crooked teeth, I had to have tubes in my ears, so I probably would have had bad hearing. I mean, I would have been a very different person aesthetically if it wasn't for the love and care of people who came before me that invested in me. And even that was only possible because I live in where I live geographically. And we were poor. Like, we did not have a lot of money growing up, and I still don't. I don't have anything, hardly. Everything I have, it goes into it. But I have privilege. I have the ability right now to not have to worry about that many bills, to not be in debt, because I was privileged enough to live in a situation in which I could escape that cycle. I didn't have to get into it. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, that chance, because of where they're born, what their life is, etc. So I want to use that to be important. This is getting really long. Okay. Moral of the story, long, everything condensed. I want to live in a better world. I want to help other people achieve the status of at least being neutral, in the sense that, like, they're not having to work to survive, and they're also not negatively impacting the world, and they're also not, on welfare or something. They're just sustaining themselves. Great. Now you have time to think and reflect and de-stress and be like, all right, what do I want? And if they want to just sit there and be lazy and smoke pot or whatever they want to do, fine, go do that. I don't care. Just don't be negatively impacting. And I'm happy to help people do that. So that's kind of where I'm going with everything. Just an update. Holy crap, this has gotten long. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Okay, bye.